Welcome back into the Sporting News Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger says if his wife goes into labor on a Sunday, he will miss the game.
Or on a Thursday that he's playing, or a Saturday he's playing, or whenever it is, he's going to be there for the birth of his son. Can we really blame him for that?
We can't blame him, and most of the readers of this story on sportingnews.com can't blame him either. If you look over the comments, they really fall into three different categories. But most of the responses, the overwhelming number of responses say, good on you, Ben, your priorities are right.
And I think they are, personally, as the father of two, one adopted and one I was there for the birth, and it was a pretty memorable moment, and if you'd missed it, I think you'd regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've been there for the birth of all three of my kids as well, and it's just not something you want to miss. It's something that will stay with you forever. There are two other categories of comments that I think might warrant even more discussion. The first one, the more cynical one, says, hey, didn't Ben Roethlisberger get accused of rape back into 2008, and how can we laud him for having his values right and for being a family man when he has this charge in his past? Now, we should say he was never legally charged with rape.
No.
The case was settled out of court, and so there's no legal ramifications here, but people say, hey, come on, isn't he just trying to rebuild his image?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think there's plenty of pressure on Ben Roethlisberger to play in whatever game, should this arise. Now, bear in mind that the chances are that his son won't be born on a game day.
Right.
But should this arise, there's plenty of pressure on the other side for him to come out and play. Okay? So I don't see this as kind of bowing to pressure to repair his image or appear to be something he's not. This is a choice that's very easy to understand a father, an impending father, making. So
yeah, and I don't even view it as hypocritical because he was bad to women before and now he's trying to paint himself as a family man. I think once you get married and have kids, regardless of what he may or may have not have done in his past,
right,
things sort of change and priorities change.
Absolutely.
All right, now the third sort of category of comments right below on sportingnews.com is that, hey, why can't they schedule a C-section on a Wednesday, or why can't they artificially jumpstart the pregnancy
Pitocin,
on a Tuesday?
baby, Pitocin.
Doesn't he owe that to the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, he did tell the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which reported this story, that they would do everything they could to avoid a birth on a game day, everything within reason. So that may be inducing the birth. I certainly would suggest to you it's not going to be an unnecessary C-section, however.
Yeah, it's not elective surgery so that you can play in a football game.
No, exactly. Hey, Ronnie Lott cut off his finger, right? So, Ben Roethlisberger and his wife are going to make the best decisions they can for their family, and obviously, if they can, they will accommodate the fact that the most important day of his job is game day.
But the most important day of his life is when his children are born.
That's it.
And
the most important day of his job is the football game.
Right.
The most important day of his life is the day when his child is born.
And it is not within the purview of football fans or even management at Pittsburgh, in my opinion, to say, you need to shift that life thing so that it doesn't interfere with that job thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that we really get to say that.
Right. And see, the thing is, we're not just talking about Ben Roethlisberger. We're talking about his family.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And how it impacts his family, his wife, and, of course, their son eventually. So.
All right. Well, that's Tom Vandervoort. I'm Stephen Levine, and we'll be watching to see when
And there's still room for more comments down below.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll watch to see when Ben's son or daughter, is it a son or a daughter?
I believe it's a son.
I thought so too, will actually be born.